Let's get one thing clear. Doing the work is not just about journaling pretty affirmations in a notebook with sage burning in the background. That's cute, but that's not the work. The real work, it's in how you move through your life. It's how you choose to think when your mind starts spiraling. It's how you show up when everything in you wants to shrink. Here's what doing the work actually looks like when you're a woman reclaiming her power. Number one, it's all about your attitude, not about your tools. Now, let me tell you, beautiful, you have made an amazing start. You are starting to do the work. Maybe you've been doing the work for so long and it feels like you're barely making a dent in it. You can own every journal, every oracle deck, every healing course on the planet. But if your attitude still is feeling like I'm not enough or I need fixing, you will keep attracting lessons instead of breakthroughs. And you'll always feel like you are the problem. The shift happens when you start moving like I'm already her, my higher self, by the way. That's why you hear so many people talk about, that girl, that woman, you're becoming her. It's like you are her, but who is she? Well, it's your higher self, your highest self, the ultimate version of you, the ultimate version of the person you were born to be. So the healing is actually in embodying that version of you every moment of every day, not collecting tools. Now, tools can help. Let me tell you, tools can be very helpful to get you on the right track. But it's about the action that comes, and that's what I'm going to be discussing a little bit later on. I can't tell you, there have been some incredible resources in my life that have helped me on my own personal healing journey, from books to courses to everything. But the main thing, the main driver of my growth, and I still am growing, we all are, we all will throughout our whole lives have so much to learn, grow, do, achieve. The levels just keep coming, don't forget it. So you need to make a decision. Do you want to stay here where you are for a long time? Or do you want to have fun and keep moving through the process? It can come like that when you are ready. And when you start escalating, when you start moving upwards, leveling up, as they say, through the levels of the game of life, that's when everything becomes more fun. You start achieving more because you're no longer feeling like you're stuck. You're stagnant. That's what you've been missing this whole time. So if your attitude is, oh wow, I'm really sold by this online course, it sounds amazing, it's going to solve all my problems. The course is never going to solve your problems. Let me tell you, in a previous life, I worked with women growing their businesses. And quite often these ladies were in startup point. Some of them actually, for a short time, I worked with women who were just starting to build their businesses, not women who were actually, as I later moved on to support the women who had actually been in it for a longer time. We were supporting them, and I still do in different ways, with the more complex and nuanced elements of their business. But at the very beginning, it was actually women who were just getting started in their business. And the one thing that was just almost like perpetual between those who were successful and those who weren't, the people who were successful, the women who were successful, they would take action on our decisions, on the decisions for their growth of their business. They would make the moves. It didn't matter if it was uncomfortable. It didn't matter all of the the other things that were going on in their lives. It didn't matter about any of that. They would keep going, keep driving forward, keep taking the action. And they would do it in a kind way to themselves when necessary, but they would just keep moving forward. The people that, I'm not going to say they weren't successful, they're on their own journey, but I'm going to say that the women who didn't achieve the goals as quickly as they wanted to, the reason why every time was because A, they just put off taking the actual action. They did all the other kind of busy stuff that made it look like they were, doing things, but they weren't taking the one action or the actions that would actually make the difference. Or secondly, it was because they were sold on a tool. They were sold on, oh, this product will help me. This coaching program will help me. This thing will help me. This will make the difference. This will help me. Or if it wasn't even that, it was a niche in business. It was like, oh, I'm going to do coaching. Then I'm going to do digital products. Then I'm going to do affiliate marketing. It was just the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Not realizing that actually it was never about the vehicle. It was about them, their attitude, not sticking to the driving forces behind business growth that they would have to take every single time. And not realizing that progress, real true transformation, it can't happen overnight. Because you're not just going to go from, I'm going to try and use it, you're not going to go from yourself where you are right now to somebody who has $1 billion business overnight. You couldn't personally hold all of that, what it takes. It's not easy having a very successful business. It comes with a ridiculous amount of challenges, not even challenges. It comes with an additional amount of weight that you must be able to hold and support so that you can move forward. People have, and I'm going on a spiral, a tangent now, but people have no clue what it takes to run a very successful business. They think it looks easy, probably because of all these ads that tell you how easy it is. But I'm going on it, but it's an amazing journey. It provides so much freedom. If you realize what comes with that, you will have to grow. People are not understanding that. It's about their growth. It's about running at the thing that terrifies you and that you don't want to do. That's the one thing that will actually grow you in business. And it's about working through that. And so I believe that your life is like that too. The one thing you don't want to do is the one thing you should be doing. So for example, if you feel like you need to heal and you need to grow as a person in terms of believing that you're enough, boosting your self-confidence, really building a strong foundation of self-esteem in who you are, you're never going to get that through just reading a book on self-esteem. You're never going to get it through taking part in a challenge about self-esteem or going on a course about self-esteem or watching a YouTube video about self-esteem. How you will get it is only by identifying the exact goal that you have with regards to your self-esteem and working out what scenarios you would be putting yourself in as your higher self when that self-esteem was realised. And then each time the scenario comes up, because guess what? The universe, your creator, he will put these exact types of obstacles in your life. Obstacles, let's call them challenges, let's call them practices to refine you. It's like me, when I'm going to the gym at the moment, I'm not doing just cardio. No, I walk around with my children in the pram. I'm not doing that. I'm sculpting my body using weights, using resistance, because my body gets I can only sculpt my body and the particular muscles that I'm looking to grow, and I can only chisel, I can only really refine things when I work particular muscles, when I keep growing day in, day out. And those times in your life when you're feeling so frustrated, you're feeling any emotion like amped up 10x, unless you start to take the actions, you make the moves, you're never going to grow, you're never going to change, you're never going to actually get the outcome you're looking for. So if you think you've got so much work to do, just say, right, what's the first thing I need to tackle? Like I said, I just told you, how do you tackle it? Well, you write down exactly who you are as your higher self, your best self, your dream self. How does she deal with these scenarios? And once you're very clear on that, what would you have to do to change? Look at the contrast between who you are now and what she does. Even if it's just a case of, like I just said, about getting fitter, sculpting your body. If you want the most beautiful round booty, if you want the most beautiful, powerful legs, or if you want the most literally gorgeous arms, you're not going to get there by, like moving towards the snack cupboard and reaching in there. That isn't exercise. What's actually exercise is thinking, all right, what does she do? Does she actually waste valuable calories on the cookie? Or does she waste time, with remote control up and down looking at Netflix? No, that ain't exercise. It's like, what will give me exercise is a very concrete, a very strategic plan, maybe only 3 times a week. But when I go there, I'm working really intentionally on doing what I need to do. So the life is your gym. You're going to just be hit by different challenges every day to help grow and refine you in particular ways. And the problem is, when we go to the gym, we can choose what muscle groups to work on. But in life, we don't get to choose. Well, we do to an extent, but we don't really get to decide exactly how an obstacle or a challenge is going to show up. The universe will just hit us with the exact one we need. So maybe you've been asking for something this whole time and it eventually happens, but the way it shows up isn't just not the way that you thought it would. And you're going to feel inside you so much resistance, so much, I don't want this. How do you react to that? What do you want? Do you want it? And in that moment, you might be so swept up in it that you may not even realize that this is exactly what you asked for to grow. This is exactly the type of thing. Me, I'm an extremely feisty person. I am an extremely passionate person. But so I need to work very hard on how I remain calm, because I'm so passionate about things. So that's one thing in my life that I have worked so hard on that with my children, so hard. But in other such situations, maybe let's just say with adults, who I'm just like, wow, this is so wild that this is going on. I really have to work hard to be my best self in that situation. That's one of the things. But I'm never going to get there by reading a book about it. I'm never going to get there by watching YouTube channels. They help me. It's amazing. And I can take on real wisdom from experts in courses. But until I apply it, I learn the tools, I keep listening, I keep them in my back pocket, and then I'm given an opportunity to apply it. And now I'm starting to see, okay, that was given to me. This is my chance to prove that I'm learning, that I'm growing, that I'm moving. And why do I need all of that? Well, that's personal, but I know what I need to know, and I know why I'm being taught to do that. If you want to live an exceptional life, you need to be an exceptional person. And that's just how it is. So I need to own it, that I need to be exceptional. I'll need to level up in so many ways. So when that happens and I'm seeing all of these challenges, get into the habit of just every time, like your brain just saying to yourself, this is for me. This is to help me grow. This is to help me get to where I want to be. I need to know this. I need to be the best in this. So why don't I just accept it? Change my attitude now. I'm a different person now. I'm a higher self now. This is how I react in these situations. Let's just get on, do it so we can elevate. So number 2, it's confronting your BS thoughts in the moment. So your old patterns are going to whisper things to you. Could be like, don't do it. Or you'll fail, don't start. Or people will judge you. Your job is to catch it. Your job is to notice it. Your job is to call it out, like I just said. And then move anyway. You don't wait for the fear to go away. You walk through it with power. You take the move. And it doesn't need to be a huge, big, crazy move. It can literally be you being bold and brave enough. You thinking, you don't have to jump immediately. But when the opportunity comes, you look, you say, actually, I would like to do that. You warm yourself up to the idea. You look at the benefits of doing it. You feel the pull. It's not always like, I'm so excited, yes, and it's perfectly set up for me. Sometimes it requires you to stand up and say, yeah, I'm going for that, but it will require me to do something. That's the universe asking you, do you really want this? You say you want it. Well, show me then. We're giving you the opportunity. Now all you have to do is take it. But it won't always be given to you. It's not always going to be a case of chap. Hey, here's your opportunity right here for you. You will often have to do something to receive the opportunity. So it's about confronting your thoughts in the moment. So you're going to have all these BS thoughts like, what if I get embarrassed? What if it doesn't work? What if they talk about me? Who cares? And it's easy for me to say that, but if that's your whole life and that's the way that you've led your life, you need to take some time to yourself to realize you are so valuable, powerful, incredible, that sometimes you don't actually need to worry so much about what other people think of you. Power is somebody who is incredible, feels incredible, looks incredible, embodies incredible, and they don't need to be constantly surrounded by other people. You'll find that, like, in life, there will be people who just shine. They just shine, and they don't blend in. And they're doing amazing things. And some people are in awe of them, and other people are a bit intimidated by them, or a bit, a little bit of like, I wish I could embody some elements of that. So it's not always met with the warmest of receptions, but when you actually understand that you're so powerful, so incredible, so amazing, you were born to inspire others. As a high-achieving, incredible woman, that's one of your jobs. And it's to show that you every single element within you was put there for your success. So I need you to understand that. But you need to confront those little BS thoughts, because if you're looking to be very successful in some area of your life, you need to get over yourself in the small ways. And I am learning that too, because as type A perfectionists, people who want everything to be flawless, it can be quite a knock for something not to go the way you would like. But it's confronting those thoughts, because you will need to develop that strength, develop kind of a layer of toughness at times in life to get to where you want to be. So just look at it like that. And you don't wait for fear to go away. It's never going to go away. Like I said, look at it, confront it, say, well, what's the worst that can happen? How would I mitigate that? That's the key. How would I mitigate that? How would my higher self behave and act in order that that wouldn't happen? You just go for it. Walk through it with power. Now finally, beautiful. The key, it's about building proof in real time. So we don't rewire our brain with theory. We can think about it, we can watch it. That's your preparation. That's like when you were in school and you were about to take the exams, and all year leading up to that, you would have your coursework and you would be reading the books and you would be watching the program and you would be doing all the things and answering questions. That was all theory. That didn't get you any result. That was just you feeding your brain with information. Now, how relevant was that information? How accurate was that information? We're not even going to go there. But that was all just theory. The practical, the proof comes in the action you take. You synthesizing what you have learned, putting into practice, or regurgitating it if it's an exam. You can see how I think about it. But each time you speak up, each time you say, yeah, I'd like to be involved, each time you hit publish, each time you raise your prices, each time you walk away from drama, you build a new identity. That's the work. Every time you stand up for yourself, you hold strong, you breathe, you don't react the way you used to. Every time you maybe walk away from a conversation that does not serve you and it's toxic for you. Every time you show kindness and love instead of responding the way you used to. Every time you show up to the gym. Every time you decide to drink herbal tea instead of eating a biscuit. This is how you build proof in real time. So listen, journaling has its place. So much as, do you know, sometimes I just have this urge to go and get my hot pink journal. I love bold colours. I love black. I love being dressed in all black. I love white. Or cream. I love being dressed in these colours. I love red when I feel it. If I'm going out for anything, I love red. And I love pink. Hot pink. And blush pink. These are my colours. These are like the only colours I wear. I love these colours. And for some reason, I'm very drawn to hot pink. And I have a hot pink journal that I got maybe a couple of years ago. It is just exciting hot. I love it. It's a fun fiery colour, and that is my journal where I write exciting things. And I have nice, I'm a stationery girl, okay? If you know, you know. I have some beautiful little highlighters that I use and nice pens when I'm writing, journaling ideas, but I don't sit there and journal like every day, like because I'm forced to, because that's not me. I really am an action taker more than a writer or that kind of thing. That's why I sit here and I tell you, I can speak to you about what I've learned without the script. I just have my key points and I talk about it because that's what I have been blessed with the ability to do. I don't need the script. I don't need all the, okay, yeah, I may make mistakes. It may not be perfect, but who cares? Maybe it will allow you to do the same. Give you the permission to do the same. But journaling has its place. I love journaling when I feel called to do it with my pens. I make it inspiring. I make it interesting. I make it fun. And I do it and it's therapeutic. But that's not how you actually build proof. That's how you get your ideas together. That's how you maybe recall information, blend information, put together a plan, but that's not the actual action. A reflection is very powerful. But you don't rise by journaling. You don't rise just by thinking. You rise by moving like the woman you're becoming, putting it all into practice. And that's the vibe. I want to remember that. It's all about how you move. It's all about the action. And people say, being your feminine, it's about receiving. Yeah, totally. But when you're in the moment, you need to move like her. Each of us, we have the perfect blend of masculine and feminine energy. It's like the magnet, the polarities. You've got the positive, you've got the negative energy frequencies. You have that masculine and that feminine energy, but we all have the perfect blend. It just so happens that by design, we were designed to be in our feminine more. And we do get the best in most situations when we are really using our feminine power to our advantage. But sometimes you will have to be driven, motivated, keep moving. Sometimes you will have to take an action. And that's because we were born to do that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any masculine energy. You would just be a big ball of feminine energy. And that's the way it would be. So everyone has a different balance of that depending on what your life purpose is, and that's the beauty of it. But there's nothing to say that being in your masculine is at times a negative thing. It's not. People would like to tell you that, but if you're a feminine woman and you really feel that's where your power lies, if you lean much more towards the feminine and you're spending your life hustling and feeling like you're in a masculine, sometimes in seasons of your life it's completely necessary. It's completely necessary, and I commend you for that, because I've been there myself. And at this moment, sometimes I have to do that. But this is just a journey. It's just a phase. It's just a season of your beautiful life. And you will move into the next perfect season very soon. By just sticking in there. Part of what you're doing right now is to prepare you for what comes ahead. So just remember that. And if you are done playing small, if you're done living for potential, and if you're done waiting for permission, then I want to get the spark activation right now. It isn't a workbook, it's not a course. It's a personalized video deep dive that will rip the mask off your blocks, will plug into your power and hand you the clarity and the confidence to start living like her, your higher self, the woman you came here to be on this planet. So if you are serious about that version of you, then don't wait, go and claim it now. And I'll see you there in Spark. But make sure you've hit like, you've subscribed, you're ready for the next episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video in Spark Activation. Have an amazing day, beautiful.